Juneteenth is a holiday commemorating the emancipation of enslaved African Americans in the United States that has been celebrated by Black Americans and their communities for generations. On June 17, 2022, the Los Angeles City Council passed a resolution declaring Juneteenth an official city holiday. Even before the holiday's designation, Juneteenth celebrations at the Port of Los Angeles were visible. In the 1990s, a group of Los Angeles Harbor Department employees organized Juneteenth events to share Black American culture, traditions, and food with fellow employees. Now, in its second year, the Juneteenth celebration at the Port of Los Angeles celebrates the history of Black Americans in the harbor area and paves a path forward for today's youth.
Juneteenth 400 is a nonprofit that was started 3 years ago, again thanks to the Port of Los Angeles. Last year, Gene Sirok, the CEO of the port, came to, we were having lunch, and he said, "Joe, I want to make sure that your nonprofit has some funding. And we were going to use that for education, we're going to use it for scholarships, but more than anything else to get the word out what Juneteenth was and all the different activities that we were doing here at the port." We had a boat ride Friday, we had the picnic Saturday. Now something else happened Sunday that is just gigantic. Sunday morning at the Korean Bell in San Pedro, the Korean community came to me and said, "Can we celebrate Juneteenth with you?" They ring that bell 4 times a year. 4 times a year, but this year, because of our cooperation in the port again, now they're going to ring that bell 5 times a year. And that 5th time is on Juneteenth every year. So for the first time it ever happened, it happened this year. That same day I had 2 tall ships going out at 1 o'clock, 2 tall ships went out at 4 o'clock, 2 tall ships went out at 7 o'clock, taking Black families who had never been on the water out there for free. We cruised the harbor for 2 hours, and the 7 o'clock cruises anchored as fireworks went above us again that Sunday night.
So the main thing, the core of LAMI is working with youth, right? Middle school students, high school students, maybe upper elementary. And at the core of what we believe is you can solve so many problems by educating the youth. So that's really our focus, is educating the youth. So on Juneteenth, it's interesting, some kids have never been on the water, even though they may only live 10, 15 miles away from the coast. So we bring the boats out and they get to go on a sail for a few hours. There's some program activities they go through. You know, the fact that it's now a national holiday, the fact that the port helps sponsor with the fireworks really adds to the festivities and the festival nature of it, and really the recognition of African American independence. And so, you know, to be part of that is really cool.
Celebration of Juneteenth is everything, especially for the Black community. One of the reasons when I started doing it 25 years ago was to educate our youth on Juneteenth. Many of them thought it was only a picnic, place to barbecue. We would have a picnic here locally. It would be all Pedro. We wouldn't have to advertise. They just knew to be here on the 3rd teen Saturday in June, and it was Juneteenth. And for the community to know that we're welcome here and to have a friend at the port who's welcoming us, it's a big deal, a very big deal.